So down here on the bottom, we're going to practice finding parallel slopes, and we're going to practice finding perpendicular slopes. So this first one, we're going to look at this line, y equals x plus 4, and we want the slope to be the same because it's parallel, but the y-intercepts can be different. So we're going to ignore this point for a minute. The slope right here, right now, is m equals 1 because there's nothing in front of x. So if there's nothing in front of x, that means it's an imaginary 1, so our slope would be 1. Now remember, for parallel lines, the slopes are the same. Intersect rate of change must be the same. Right here, must be the same. So for our parallel line, we will have y equals, we want the same slope, so 1x plus some y-intercept. And so now this is where we're going to use this point, where we have x equal to 2 and y is equal to 2, because remember this goes x comma y. So we're going to take these two and we're going to substitute them in for x and y and then solve for b. So what that looks like is instead of writing y, I'm going to write the 2 because those are the same. So I have 2 is equal to my slope 1 times x. Well, x is 2, so instead of writing x, I'm going to write a 2 plus b. Plus b. We don't know what b is yet. That's why we're leaving it as a b. Now this is an Algebra 1 problem. We're going to solve for b. So 1 times 2 is 2, so I have 2 equal to 2 plus b. And then I'm going to subtract the 2 because I want this b alone. So minus 2 minus 2. Well, that's all going to cancel out. So that means 0 equals b. Well, now we have to write it as an equation. So our line parallel will be y equals 1x plus 0. They have the same slope. The y-intercept we just showed will go through the point 2, 2. And so that makes our y-intercept 0. Let's look at the next example. So we'll start with our slope. Our slope is negative 2 over 5. We have an x value of 2. We have a y value of negative 1. That's everything that I'm going to need to substitute. So I'm going to start with just using the slope. So y equals negative 2 over 5 x plus some y-intercept b. Now I'm going to take the x and the y from the point that it told us, and I'm going to substitute that in for the x and the y in the equation I started and solve for b. So instead of writing y, I'm going to write negative 1. So negative 1 is equal to my slope, negative 2/5, times my x value, which is 2, plus b. So if you guys have a calculator, you can put this in the calculator. I don't, so I'm just going to do it in my head. So I have negative 1 equals, well, these are going to be multiplied. So negative 2 times 2 is negative 4 over 5 plus b. Now I know that negative 4 over 5 is the same thing as negative 0.8 plus b. You can again get that from the calculator. And now I'm going to subtract negative 0.8 from both sides. This will cancel, and I will be left with a negative 1.8 equal to b. So then I'm going to take this negative 1.8, and I'm going to substitute it in for this b right there, because that's my y-intercept. So I have y equal to negative 2 over 5 x. Oh, I'm sorry. This should be plus. Sorry, I made a mistake. I forgot there was a negative right there, so I have to actually add the 0.8. on both sides. So -1 plus 0.8 is 0.2. So I'm going to be substituting the 2 in for the b, plus 0.2. You could also write this as 1/5. 0.2 is the same as 1/5.